just quit the show because Van ain't trying to hear you, nor does he care about what you got to say. It's been hard watching the Higher Learning podcast because it's like every episode, Van is saying something dumb or he's trying to overtalk or make Rachel Lindsay look like she's dumb. It's about time somebody said something. Let's go ahead and get into the video. But first, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's get to it, y'all. So I was contemplating doing a review on this video because I already talked about the Adin Ross situation. I feel like we're beating a dead horse, but this is more about Van because, again, they're talking about the Doechii and Adin Ross situation, and Van was doing good. He was on the right track, but then Rachel said something that ticked him off, and he went on this whole tirade that wasn't about the subject at all. Let's get into it, y'all. Here we go. And I know y'all hate hearing my mouth. Y'all be like, shut up, just play the clip. Okay, but hit that like button and subscribe to the channel too. Do your part.
Yeah. And as you said, we've had Glasses on this podcast, and you know I don't agree with everything Glasses says. But I agreed with every word he said when he was talking to Trap. I mean, every single word. I thought the funniest, and I'm with you, I don't condone violence. I thought the funniest thing he said was, "Oh, you're gonna run and call the cops? The cops come after the crime."
Yeah. He always say that. I don't
follow him enough to say that. That actually made me laugh out loud. But a part of this that is missing is, and it goes to, because that energy that you have obviously should be for the Adin Rosses and the Neons and what other streamers have built up their audience by degrading the Black community and particularly Black women. All that energy should be for them, but that's equal energy for all the people who have empowered and supported and uplifted the Adin Rosses that have allowed them to feel comfortable enough to insert themselves in our culture in order to justify degrading a woman, and then know that a Black man is going to have his back by shitting on another Black man and then say, I'll go ahead and call the other one on your behalf. And that's whack 100. So when you're throwing in the Young Thugs and the Kodak Blacks and the Drakes or the athletes like an Antonio Brown who are sitting next to Adin Ross while he continues to shit on Black people and okay it and normalize it, Adin Ross doesn't feel like this because he's white. Adin Ross feels like this because he has the support. Maybe there's some Black women, I haven't seen it, but particularly from Black men in order to do this. I'm sorry, I just gave you a list. I'm sorry. And I'm going to make this particular, and I'm going to go back to whack 100, which is what I was saying. Mm-hmm. What a part of this that is missing.
So you already see him getting frustrated. He got his hand over his face and everything like that. And she's not saying anything wrong. As a Black man, I'm not offended. She's talking the truth. And we've been saying this, like people like Act, Drake, all these different people give Adin Ross a pass. This is why he feels like he can disrespect us, right?
And Doechii, Adin Ross has continuously degraded Black women. Cardi, Doechii, Meg, the list goes on and on and on. You in the clip that was just played, he called Doechii smelly. He took back fat. He called her dumb. He called her a bitch. All of these things, right? And this isn't a one-off. He continuously does this. He does this in this clip. He does it while he's sitting next to a Black. She comes out with a song, never calls Adin Ross by name. She just references being called an industry plant. He takes that as, oh, she's directly talking about me because as in that clip, he calls, and he's saying that plant, there's no way she's not successful, that she was able to get the accolades that she has and the followers and the money and the attention and all of that. So he thinks, oh, she must be talking about me. So he comes out with this diss song. What happens? Glasses Malone, as he should, is like, shut the fuck up. And let me tell you why. And don't ever talk this way again. And if you do, I promise it's going to be exactly how he says in that clip. Adin Ross calls whack 100 somebody of the culture and says, hey, man, this guy Glasses, who whack 100 then explains who Glasses is. This guy Glasses and Trap are talking about me. I need you to have my back. Whack 100 is like, don't fucking pay attention to Trap. He ain't nobody. Okay, so Adin Ross is laughing at him. So now I don't know anything about Trap, but he's shitting on this Black man and then allowing Adin Ross to do the same thing, which he does when he gets off the phone with whack 100, and then he allows his audience to do it. So again, he is normalizing the behavior to belittle the Black community, Black men, Black women, then says, oh, Glasses is family. I'll go ahead and talk to him. In no way in that conversation does WAC 100 hold Adin Ross accountable for how he's talked about Doechii. He doesn't even ask, hey, why does Glasses have a problem with you? What's the deal? In no way he takes the word of Adin over everybody else. Of course, Adin feels like he can do all the things that he's done. Of course, he feels like he can insert himself to the culture because the culture continues to back him up. And so if we're going to have...
Right. And there was no question like, okay, well, what's going on? Like, why he feel that way? You know, it was no conversation of that. He was like, oh, yeah, I'll talk to him. I handle it. And Glasses has made it clear, at least for the last 3-4 days, that he don't give a what anybody says. He's going to see Adin. So let's just put that out there, too.
This energy for Adin, we got to have this energy for everybody who continues to answer his phone calls and have his back, for everybody who's going to sit next to him in a stream. Everybody can get it because the Adin Rosses are created by the support of the people in the culture who allow him to do this. Sorry, it's the truth and you know it. So whether it's a black man, a black woman, anybody who allows this to happen we should all be getting the same energy.
If it was a black woman, we wouldn't be talking about it like this. We'd be finding ways to excuse it.
Well, then fuck everything else I just said.
I'm not saying fuck everything you're saying. What I'm saying is this. Number one,
that's not the point.
I'm not making it. I'm not making.
He said if it was a black woman, we'll be finding every way to like excuse it. And that's what he said. Kind of. I know I sped the video up for copyright, so yes, it is a little sped up, but that's what he said.
You know, I'm not making that the point. In this situation right here, the point that's being made right here is how fucked up the black men are. I did not glaze over that. But in this situation, it is a black man that is standing up for black women. It is. It's a black man that is standing up for black women. It is a black man, and I will say a black man that a lot of other times we ain't got no use for, not pure enough for us, not perfect enough for us, don't work for us, got too many bad opinions. But when you need somebody to go in somebody's mouth over something, that's the type of nigga you're gonna call. That's the kind of guy that's gonna do that, right? Because a lot of your other suit-wearing guys not gonna do that. It's a black man that's standing up for a black woman. We are having this conversation because a black man said enough. Now, if we want to have another conversation where we talk about all of the it's not going to discuss that part of the reason why Adin Ross feels so comfortable doing that is because it's been codified by some black man. You can't have a conversation without talking about that. But right now, to me, the conversation with WAC, that didn't even work. It's like there are a lot of ways and places that you...
So hold on. No. But this is the root of the actual issue. It's like, oh, well, you know, I know that's a part of it, but I don't want to discuss that right now. And it's all like, no. You have to talk about that because this is why he feels empowered to do and say the things that he does, because he got all these goons around him. So how can you avoid or negate that part of the conversation?
You could criticize WAC. In this situation, WAC picked up the phone. I talked to Glasses. It didn't even go that way. That's not even what happened. Glasses and WAC had a conversation. WAC wasn't even on it like that. I have no connection to WAC. Don't know WAC like that at all. No, in no way, shape, or form. Like in no way, shape, or form. In no way. I'm not about to defend nobody that I'm not defending him in any type of way. I'm not defending any of the guys that are alongside Adin Ross. If we want to have a conversation about black men and about the way we treat black women, like I said before, I'm here for it. The conversation right now is about this white boy that called this woman a smelly bitch.
You can't talk.
And to me, what we end up doing in perpetuity, and I gotta be honest with the audience, man. I have to be honest with you guys. In the past, I haven't. I'm sick and fucking tired of being a cultural whipping boy.
What?
Every single fucking time. I'm over that.
Why on earth would you put yourself in the same? I am talking about a particular.
Yo, he went full Karen, full white woman, and made it about him. Like, this conversation is not about you or making it about black men. She's specifically talking about the people associated with Adin Ross. She didn't blanket all black men. Like, he's hearing what he wants to hear.
Black man.
No, you're not all the same.
Like you're not all the same. In this situation right here, it is a black man that is coming to the defense.
Two things can be true. Two things can be true. Two things can be true. Glasses is not. I literally just up Glasses. I literally just said every single word he said. Both things can be true.
You spent a lot more time talking about the black man that
because you have to talk about why Adin. Why you have to talk about why is Glasses talking about this? Who is Glasses talking about? Why is he talking about this person? Why does this person like this? The fact that you are even putting yourself in a bucket. I'm not generalizing black men. I'm talking about a particular type of black man. Right. You have to be able to separate it. If you were talking about a particular type, I'm not saying y'all are.
Say it, finish the sentence.
If you were talking about a particular type of black woman, I wouldn't necessarily, I don't think that I'm like that. The fact that you're turning this into a black man, black woman, you can't talk about Adin Ross without talking about that he has been empowered by a particular group of black men. That ain't you. That's not Glasses. That's why Glasses stood on business and talked about it in this way.
I appreciate that. Give me the specific type of black woman that I could talk about.
I don't know. I got to sit and think about an example of how I wouldn't be.
Because that's not true.
Okay, Van, I don't want to turn it into this. I'm just going to let you talk.
Because that's not true. What you just said, give me the specific type of black woman that I can hold up to criticism and say, woman.
Okay, glorify whiteness. There are black women who do that. And if you said that, I wouldn't say you're talking about me, because I know that's not me.
But you know what though? I wouldn't do that. So the reality,
we wouldn't be having a topic, and you wouldn't say that there are black women who do this. We literally kind of
hold on. Wait a second. If I'm talking about a black woman that holds.
Now, they have talked about the Nicki Minaj situation. So, I mean, kind of, yes, they have. But even with that being said, like Rachel is saying, like, I'm not going to take offense if you're talking about a particular black woman. Now, again, the other side of the coin, sometimes it does fail. I will agree with Van in this way. It seems like anytime you have criticism for a black woman, it's all like, oh, you hate all black women. It's all like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. And like the conversation just gets cut off where you can't even say anything, right? Even if you're talking about a particular situation or something that happened to you. But in this particular instance, that had nothing to do with Van's past trauma of being harassed online. And so like, dude, just why are you? I understand on a podcast, if it's two people, you have to have an opposing opinion. But this take that he has is horrible. And it's not that this is like the first time. Me being an avid watcher of their podcast, he has been shutting down Rachel, over talking her, over speaking her, and making it seem like she's dumb and doesn't know what she's talking about. It's a way that he goes about it that I can't put my finger on it, but it's disrespectful.
Of whiteness. I'm saying Candace Owens, and I'm saying only Candace Owens, right? Let me finish this. I'm saying, and I apologize to the listeners for cutting Rachel off. If I'm talking about a black woman that upholds whiteness, I'm saying Candace Owens, and I'm talking about Candace Owens. I'm saying Sage Steele, and I'm talking about Sage Steele. I'm saying Doechii lady, and I'm talking about her, and I'm being specific in my criticism about her. And I'm not gonna say, hey, we need to talk about these black women that go around because if I wanted to talk about it, Omarosa, Diamond and Silk, like whoever, a litany of them.
You're name them.
Like a litany of them. I'm gonna name them. I'm gonna talk about them. I am not going to connect any of what they got going on to being black ladies, because the moment that you do that, the conversation is going to fall apart. Now, let me say this.
I totally listed off black men, but keep going.
Let me say this.
And she did. She listed them specifically, and he's just ignoring that.
But do I understand that there's a difference here? That there's a difference when having this conversation in the frustration that black women feel with black men? I do. I completely understand it. I do. You didn't say rappers. You didn't say streamers. You said the other black men. And guess what? I did too. I said Young Thug. I said Kodak. I said Antonio Brown. I said Drake. I said the black man sitting next to him. I know. But like this conversation, and we can run it back or look at it or whatever, you're talking, we have to talk about the black man. We always have to talk about the black man. Even in this situation where a black man is the hero of the story, it's important to understand that the main takeaway is that black men are responsible for this. And look, I'm sorry. I apologize to the audience. I do. I culturally think with a collectivist mindset. I shouldn't. Culturally, I think with a collectivist mindset. I think if you say something and then you say black women, I go, wait a minute. If you say something and you say black fathers, I go, wait a minute. The only time that wait a minute is improper is when you're talking about black men. And then I'm just supposed to go, as much as I've...
But there's context to everything. What is the context of them saying that? What was said before and what's said after they say black men or black women? Like, what's the context of the conversation? Like, we got to be clear on that. Now, if it's a Caucasian or white person saying black or black women, black men, you know, your ears kind of do perk up and be like, now what you saying? But if I'm talking and we're specifically talking about the culture and things that are going on, and related to this topic of Adin Ross feeling like he's untouchable, he can say whatever, then yes, you are going to talk about the black men around him. There's no black women around him. So come on now.
Done it. And as much as we all have to do it, we have to take stock. I'm supposed to go, yeah, they're not talking about me. It's hard to do. I apologize to the audience. I apologize to Rachel. I don't mean to be overbearing. It's hard. It's hard to do, especially in this situation right here. I've acquiesced to that. I understand the criticism, but like the black man is the hero of the story. If you call this being a hero, and it's
well, because we just don't talk about because we go in depth when we talk about conversations. You can't just say glasses fired back and that was so great. We get into the who, what, when, where, and why. And the why of Adin Ross exists because particular people have made him feel empowered. Now, I offered a list of people. I am unaware of another gender that has been there. And there may have been. I don't watch Adin Ross. But when I did my research, that's all I could find. And so I'm just saying there's a particular type of person that allows this, and it's a shame. It's a shame. But yes, thankful, which I started off with talking about it. But the why to me is the important part of this story. And that's why I spent more time talking about that than I did just with glasses firing back.
So let me ask you this. This is insecurity jumped out of me. And that's
we did reference a couple of podcasts ago about what we get defensive about.
I get defensive over,
and I said black men, and you were like, "Yeah."
I get defensive over people's needless and endless, endless need to just kick niggas whenever they can.
But I wish you would have realized that that's not what I was doing.
Rachel, I love you.
If you then you just don't get. If you think that my rant had anything to do with attacking black men in the community,
can I ask you a question? Let me ask you a question. Give me what you think is a substantive critique of black women.
I'm not doing this right now. First off, we actually have to go because I have another podcast coming up.
Okay, but can I ask you a question? I want you to think about that. I want you to think about a substantive critique that I can make about all black women that holds any weight in any way.
I don't think you can make a generalized critique about any group of people all at once. But I can be. There are certain things within black women in the community. Okay, yes, your question was presented to me to make a critique about all black women. Right. If I'm going to make a critique, I think that if a lot of times, and I see this within my own friend groups and stuff, or maybe stuff I see online, that they are too critical and have certain standards or double standards, I should say, when it comes to men. And I call that out. And we talked about some of that stuff on this podcast. It was a story almost that we were going to do today. Well, I mean, that was not a black woman, but I've seen the similar things with black women.
But, this was kind of like a trick question. Not kind of, it was like, oh, well, name something that I can generalize or say about all black women. And like, you want her to do that like on the spot, just like, oh yeah, well, black women are all that. And it's almost like at the same time, that has nothing to do with what's going on. Notice how we stray from Adin Ross and him taking accountability to this whole black men versus black women. And let me tell you this, a lot of this stuff, when you see like these gender war things, especially in the black community, that shit is mostly online. Like, black men and black women get along. I mean, if you look at the percentage of marriages, most black people are married to other black people.
Of course, I critique black women, but and you know what? And that's why if you ever look at the comments on our audio, because of the way you
critique black women
the way that you just scoffed at me is why there's so many people who think I hate black. No, I don't just do coons.
Okay.
I don't just do. And that's why there's this perception on this podcast that I am so hypercritical of black men. When you just took a conversation about Adin Ross, where I particularly talked about a certain type of black man and made it seem like I'm criticizing all black men, where if you go back and you listen to this segment, that is exactly what I did not do. I did not even do that. Yeah. But it's okay. If people are going to think what they think. I hate black men.
I didn't say that.
I can't. I'm so critical. I can't stand black men.
And I'm not making a specific criticism.
So critical. Wait a second. Let's scoff at it.
Rachel was married to that white man that took all her money. So, Rachel, that's Rachel's insecurity when people talk about, her dating preference.
The reason why I
only talk about coons.
The reason why, if we
which is a word we even said we aren't going to use on this podcast.
If we're talking about a black woman, if we're making a critique of a black woman, if we're critiquing a black woman, that is a black woman that is in anti-blackness. That is like on this podcast right now. Do you know how many people have?
Next podcast, I'm gonna come up with a list of black women that I have critiqued that were not coons.
Like
coons.
On this podcast right now, do you know how animated people got because I criticized the Texas politicians?
Notice that they cut off his mic. They cut off his mic. Like Like, I think Rachel was over it, and then the producer, they was like, okay, well, let's kind of wrap this up, because if you let Van talk, Van is going to keep on going.
Yeah, Crockett. Because I didn't even criticize her. I just talked.
You saying the audience?
Yeah, just how many people were uncomfortable with me criticizing a Texas politician, one that I've vehemently defended in the past? But let that would have been when some seers or anybody that we think is connected to anti-blackness, and then we're talking about it. By the way, I'm not going to say that you haven't criticized black women.
Oh no, I'm gonna have a list because you said it. I only do coons.
But what I will say is black women as a whole, like, this is what's wrong with black women. This is what we don't like about black women, which I don't really have any things that really come to mind, just to be real with you. It's like, I get it. Everybody blame the last segment on me. It's like, it's too much. I just looked at a story where the black man is the hero, and it all comes back to how fucked up we are. I don't know, guys.
Told y'all it gets wonky after 2 hours.
I don't know, guys. I'm just getting.
It literally, like I said, it had nothing to do with nothing, and he's spinning it like, well, why are we making him the evil guy when the black guy was actually the hero? And it's all like, that has his correlation to what happened and what's going on and what Rachel was talking about. He literally took this conversation and turned it into something that it was not. It was not a bashing session of black men. Everyone has said, the funny part is that he said that he talked on the phone, which I didn't play that part. He talked on the phone with Glasses Malone, right? And Glasses has been saying the same stuff that Rachel has said. So you understanding you got it with him, but somehow you thinking that Rachel is trying to attack black men, and that's not even what's going on. And this is why his mic is cut off.
You're supposed to not compare. You're supposed to realize that you're different. The fact that you listened to what I said and inserted yourself in it, made it about that as if it was connected to you, is beyond me. You're nothing like those people, nothing like them. You're like a Glasses, but and that's why I say two things can be true. Like I would be curious if Glasses would listen to the tape that I just gave and would have had the same outcome as you. I would be curious about that, because I think it was so obvious that I was talking about a particular type of person, a particular type of black man, because you're not all the same. But so if you're asking me back to your question of what would you have done, it just baffles my mind that somehow you thought that you would compare yourself to that.
Can I be real with you? Truly the last thing. I don't look, when I say a collectivist mindset as it comes to that, I look at that the same way we look at the criticism of Doechii or other black women. I look at it as, should I say, criticism of Doechii and saying that she's fat and ugly and low IQ is a criticism of black women. I take the individual criticism of her, which he said, because Adin Ross never said all black women. Donald Trump never said all black women. We're talking about a black woman and how I feel about the entire population of black women. You shouldn't talk to a black woman like that, because when you talk to a black woman like that, I feel that disrespect for all of black women. I don't know why, but when he says that, I feel like he's talking about my mama. I feel like he's talking about.
But the thing is that Adin has talked about multiple black women. Like, it's not just the one. It's the way that he talks in general. And we know this guy says the N-word, and he honestly doesn't give a damn about black people. So yeah, it has a different sentiment to it when he's saying it versus somebody else.
My sister, I feel like he's talking about you. I feel like he's talking about Kalika. I feel like he's talking about everyone. That's the way they do. The same reason why when Trump says that Jasmine Crockett is low IQ, I go, well, what do you mean? Why would she be low IQ? Why is she low IQ? That makes me go, you're saying black women are low IQ. So I take the individual and I make a collectivist response to it, just like I take a collectivist response and make it into an individual thing.
So which part of what I said that you made that, oh, she's talking about?
Not necessarily me, but to talk about black men. If we're talking about a certain type of man, if we're talking, look, you're well within your rights to say what you said. But what I'm saying is I had an emotional human response to what I feel like, I'm just going to be honest with y'all, is getting out of control. I'm with my brothers. I'm collecting them. We talking, but I'm getting fucking sick of it. And I'm sorry. I do all the talks with my brilliant, beautiful sisters, all of you guys who are so articulate and so knowledgeable and so direct about your criticisms of us. I hear it all, but god damn, like I'm just being real. And guys, I'm wrong. Like I'm wrong. But shit, man, this is getting to be a lot.
This is not what happened here, but okay.
Okay. I mean, whatever.
It's not what happened here. I mean, you literally were talking earlier about getting in people you're having conversations with asses, which was black men, black women.
Who
was it? Whoever you were talking, we were about to go on a whole emotional rant. You were like, I'm emoting, I'm going to stop, about conversations that you're having about people.
Oh, that was black women and black men, because a lot of the black women that I know are increasingly becoming conservative themselves. Like, don't get me wrong, in the grand scheme of black ladies, there's almost no conservatism and not very much anti-blackness at all, like very small percent. But I know black ladies who, some of this stuff comes from like the far left black ladies that I know, that challenge me on every single thing that I'm on the phone with, that challenge me about race essentialism, that challenge me about being too into identity politics, that challenge me about letting go from that. Sometimes I have to reorient them, because I'm talking about people that are already all the way to the left, almost communist. I have to reorient them about why I sometimes essentialize race. Why?
That's another thing too. He hangs out in those extreme leftist spaces, and those people are very anti-black. Even the ones that are supposed to be pro-black are anti-black. Perfect example, Amanda Seals. Remember, she said, I don't want to be the leader of the black community, but yet she wants to talk about black people. Know who you're supporting and know who you're watching.
Have these conversations, all different types of shit. I have conversations with all types of people. But I'll tell you one thing that a lot of them women agree on. They agree that niggas ain't shit. And when we have a conversation on this podcast, be it about the Venus Williams thing, bunch of calls. When we have conversations about this on this podcast, about all of this stuff, what they all want to talk about is their issues, problems, and narratives around the declining quality of black men. And I guess I'm supposed to be like, yeah, that's cool. Or accept that criticism with absolutely no pushback or even no distance.
Listen, just like Rachel, she's over it, I'm over it. I'll go ahead and put the link for the main show, but again, you guys, I wanted to play that because I'm all like, I've been seeing this for the last few weeks where he'll just make an argument out of anything. Also, he'll overtalk Rachel or make her point seem like it's not valid at all. And it's like the disrespect. I don't know how much longer they're going to be doing the podcast, but I'll say this. I can see it coming to an end in the near future. And by the end, I mean probably about summer. Give it till summer. Come back to this video too and watch it. But I'll say until the end of summer, yeah, it's going to be over with. But you guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all for being here. And then let me know what you guys think, because again, like, I love Higher Learning podcasts. I like some of the stuff they talked about. I mean, and I still do. Don't get me wrong, but it's becoming unbearable to watch. Love y'all, but we out of here.